This is Tony from Cage Confessions, and I'm absolutely delighted this afternoon to be joined by the crazy kid, Brad Wheeler. Brad, how's it going?
I'm good, thanks, Tone. Thanks for taking your time to come speak to me.
No, likewise. Thanks for sharing your time this evening. And obviously, we've got a lot to talk about, but the main thing being on the 9th of May, you're flying over to Turkey to fight for Vendetta Fight Nights against Ali Taskaran. So, what sort of led to you coming back to the cage? You've obviously not fought for a little while, but what sort of was the main reason for you returning to MMA?
Well, so a while ago, I had literally two back-to-back injuries, like surgery after surgery, after the Maguire fight, and I was out for like, well, maybe 4 years, I think. Like
Yeah,
while I was like, I had one injury, then I had a surgery, and about 3 months into getting back into training, I'd done another injury, had another surgery, but that surgery took longer to recover from. So then by the time I got back to fighting, I think I first come back just boxing to start off with, and then I got a PFL
yeah,
opportunity. And but then also in that time when I was healing from my injuries, I got sober. It was like I kind of
yeah,
like it kind of in a way it was a blessing in disguise, the injury, because it made me like kind of like have a look at myself, and then I sorted myself out, and then I feel like I owe it to myself to give myself one last run, like to just do things properly, because it's mad now, like all the stuff my coach used to say to me when I'm in my 20s, you always think you know best. And then now I realize that I
yeah.
don't. And then now I've got students now doing the same thing, and I'm telling them from my experience, and they think they know best. I'm just like, like it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. So what was the because obviously you've been boxing a bit recently as well, which we'll come on to. But what sort of was the main reason for coming back to MMA away from boxing? Was it just, as you just said, because you want to sort of right a few wrongs that and give it
Yeah,
one
there's that
last crack?
because I thought when did I fight? I come back in 23.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It was a weird one. It was like I come back, and because I was sober, I thought I was entitled to win because I was sober, and then I lost three in a row, and I was like, "What?" I thought I've never lost three in a row, but it's like even though I was training for the fights and everything, I'd get into fight day and just thinking it was going to get handed to me, and then I had a bit of time off after the third loss, and then I come back full
Kez.
April last year,
Yeah. Was
full
that
Kes,
Kez
yeah.
Mamba when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
yeah,
Because obviously I'm friends with Ian Dean, and he was like,
yeah,
"Look, get a win, and we'll get you back on London." So I thought Kes beat him. Then I fought Rafael Aranov, and I got cut literally a week before the fight. The first fight punch of the fight reopened it, and then God, I warned me about it at the end of the first round, and then it got stopped in the second. Like I think if I had not got cut prior to the fight, it would have been a different outcome. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I was supposed to fight George McManus last November, and
Yeah.
he suffered a concussion, I think, not long before fight week, and the doctors didn't clear him to fight.
Yeah.
Um, and then, so just to stay active, like, because now all I do is train, work, and fight.
Yeah.
So, like, there wasn't anything available for March, so then I just had a few boxing matches. I had a boxing match at the end of the year because I didn't fight in November
Yeah.
last year, and then I had another boxing match about 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then just in one of the group chats like with GB Top Team, one of the boys who's been fighting on Vendetta, he put this fight out. I said, "Oh, does anyone want this fight?" So I just thought, yeah, I'll put my name in the hat,
Yeah.
and then the matchmaker messaged me direct, and then we just sorted it out, and then now I'm fighting Ali Taskrin in Turkey.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah. And what do you have you managed to watch any tape on him? Do you know anything about him? I mean, he's very young in his career. He's free and free, and never been to a decision. But what do you make of him as an opponent?
No, I've watched him, and like, he's game. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's coming to fight. He either gets finished or he gets the finish.
Yeah.
And like on paper, you could look at it and think it's a mismatch, or you could think it's like a young guy fighting a journeyman. But like it's deeper than that. Do you know what I mean? Like my record doesn't justify my skills. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm not taking it lightly. I'm not thinking, oh, just because of his lack of experience. Like once you're in the cage, he's a man, I'm a man. He's got two hands, two legs, and takes one shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go in there and just I just think my experience and overall skill set will be too much for him, and I'm looking to put him away quickly.
Yeah. And when obviously the fight's taking place abroad, when will you be going out to Turkey? Are you out there a
I
week before or a few days
I
before?
think I think it's quite close. I think I literally like fly out on the Thursday after land, cut weight,
Right.
weigh in Friday, fly Saturday, I'll probably fly home Sunday. I
Yeah.
think that's how it'll be probably. But we'll
So,
see. They haven't sent me flight details yet, so I don't
so
know.
have you gone through anything like that before in your career so far? And how have you sort of found it if you have fighting abroad?
Well, back in 2012, I fought Mansour Barnawi in Cage Warriors Dubai. Um, and then I fought abroad. I fought when did I fight abroad? Then I fought Abdul Ragimov, the Lazy King
Yeah,
on
that
PFL
was
Paris.
PFL a couple of years back,
Yeah,
wasn't
they
it?
they
Yeah.
flew me out a bit earlier. I think it was Wednesday they flew us out, and then I fought in Serbia, and that was Wednesday again. Um, so to be fair, this is so far I haven't done well fighting away, but it's probably this one's going to be a third time's the charm.
Indeed, 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 indeed. And obviously you've got the experience on your side as well. But what is it like fighting in because obviously it's in his backyard. What is it like walking out and because when you're in the UK, throughout your career you've probably had had an army of people cheering you on and stuff. What is different, the main difference when you're fighting in someone's backyard? Is there much, do you even notice it much?
You know
Or
what? I was watching the walkout for my PFL Paris fight, and I walked out, and the whole place booed me and that. And you have to like use it. You have to use like reverse energy. So rather than being cheers, use the boos to like
yeah,
to,
to
to
feel
like
you. Yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah,
to fuel you. Yeah, do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like it doesn't really bother me. Like because at the end of the day, like whatever we're doing, like it's just me and him in a cage. So like the way I visualize it is like he's come down to GB top team, and we're having a hard sparring session.
yeah,
But if I hurt him, I'm gonna finish him. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
like it's just I'm doing the same thing I do every week in the gym, just on a different stage.
yeah,
And so once I'm actually in there and the door closes, like all that crowd and that noise is it's irrelevant to me. I just like focus on the task at hand.
yeah. Absolutely. And this is fight number 37 of your career so
Yeah.
far, which is crazy. And like you said, it goes all the way back to sort of 2012-ish. Well, even before then,
2009.
2009. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know, what do you see the rest of your career like? Have you got a sort of hard stop as to when you want to stop doing it? Have you got a magical number in
well,
mind or?
I'd like to hit 40 fights, but realistically as well, um, unless you're on like the big shows, you're not going to get paid a lot. And so then I haven't got time on my side age wise. Like I could keep fighting until I'm older, but then it's your life outside of fighting, like
Yeah.
financially, like living the way I'm living. It's all right, I get by, do you know what I mean? But it's not like really if you want to like have a family, like buy a house and everything, the price of living and cost of living and everything, it's like realistically, I need to like I'd like to win my next four, like that would take me up to 40 fights.
Yeah.
And then unless I got a big show offer, I would happily just call it a day. I would like to. This is my plan, anyways. I'd like to um have this fight, win this fight, maybe win another two, try and stake my claim for a Cage Warriors title shot. You know what I mean, or even a Vendetta one. Maybe they've got a title
Yeah.
or whatever. Like just some sort of like big title like that's within reach and then like I said, like win that, and then whether unless I got a big show call, I will just happily leave it there. But I just feel like I want to do this last bit properly. Like because I mucked around for a long time. So I mean,
Because I think the last time you had a belt around your waist was Warrior Fight Series, was it? That was Harry's show, wasn't it?
that was 10 years ago.
That
No,
was
11,
a
11
long
this
time ago,
August.
was it? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
and
but yeah,
because
I mean, as sorry, go on, bro.
No, I was gonna say because even like this is what happened before. So I won. I was on a 6 fight win streak when I won that title, and then I was fighting Scott Clist on Cage Warriors, yeah. And if I beat him, I was told my next fight was going to be for the Cage Warriors title.
Right.
And then I missed weight and I lost the fight, and then I moved up to welterweight, and then I stopped Warren Key, and then I fought Matt Inman, who just fought for the Cage Warriors title. So then I thought, oh, I
Yeah.
might be able to kind of like get some momentum here and like beat Matt Inman and then get back in for a title shot, and then end up going into the fight with a broken leg, lost the decision, and like yeah, just kind of just. And then my life just outside of fighting was a bit chaotic as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just like I said, I just feel like I owe it to myself to try and do things properly.
Yeah. And do you have any sort of regrets throughout your career so far? Obviously, you mentioned earlier, looking back now, there's a lot of you, and you're telling the youngsters don't do what I done and blah blah. Is there what's the biggest regret if you've got any in your MMA career?
Just like the party lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if me now could go back to me in my early 20s, I would be like how I am now. You know what I mean? And things could have been a lot different. Um, and just I don't know, just like you can't live with regrets because if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then again, I knew this was a problem for a long time. I just was in a denial. So
Right.
I kind of just wish that I got my head around it and sorted myself out sooner than I actually did. It's
Yeah.
better late than never, but like I could have done with it 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and you've been sort of quite outspoken on social media, and I don't want to bring this up if you don't want to talk about it, but sort
no,
of
it's fine, it's
struggling
fine.
with addiction, and congrats, 4 years sober is an amazing achievement.
Thank you.
What was the sort of tipping point, and how did you sort of overcome it?
So it was so like I said, I got injured and I couldn't train. So I feel like because I always train and I fought and then my life outside of that was just chaotic and always out and partying and up to no good and and all that. So, but because I trained and fought, I thought my life was like in balance. I was like, I'll do a bit of
Yeah,
that, I'll do a bit of that, and I thought like, and people are always telling me how you can't live two lives, you can do one or the other. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll juggle it, I'm all right. Like, and then when I couldn't train, my life just went all into the other stuff, and
right.
he just got a bit he just got quite bad actually. Like yeah, and it got to a point where it's like if I don't calm down or stop, I'm gonna either end up killing myself or killing someone else. Like not like deliberately, like just I wrote my car off, I got arrested. Like it just my life was just getting out of control, and then it got to the point where I was like, I need to get some help because I can't keep living the way I'm living. Like, and I wasn't even enjoying it. I was just escaping reality all the time through like alcohol and drugs and stuff. And then, but like I said, so in a way, like even though the injury put me out for a while, it was kind of a blessing because it made me sort myself out. And like, yeah, now I'm like just 4 years sober now. So,
Yeah, and
um,
and obviously does I guess sort of talking about it and stuff must help again. And it's funny, isn't it? Because you think you're a cage fighter, you're fighting, you're training all the time, so you've got this hard exterior, but inside, it must feel good to actually finally speak out about it. And it shows in your social media posts how proud you are when you're putting out, and it's credit to yourself for you know
no,
being 4 years sober and stuff. And every time you put it out, it's like that must be good to sort of get it out and talk about these things because a lot of the time men don't talk about things and they keep it bottled up and actually talking about it and using your social media presence and stuff to get other people thinking about it is a very good thing.
well, you know what it is like I think like there's like a stigma around men talking out because like
Yeah,
you're a man, you're supposed to deal with it, like get on with
yeah,
it, like you think like, do you know what I mean? You're not supposed to like have any problems or worries. You're supposed to just like get on with life, and
yeah,
especially like being like a fighter, like with a big ego,
yeah,
and
exactly.
like
That's what I mean. Yeah,
you want to be like,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nothing affects me. Like I'm invincible. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
then that's what I'm saying. Like so, I feel like as well because of that, that's probably what held me back from getting help sooner. Like I did have little spells here and there where I might get like 6 months clean and take my fighting seriously. And
yeah,
that, for example, like when I went on that little win streak, then I got
Yeah,
complacent, fall back into bad habits, and it's just the roller coaster up and down, up and down, up and down. I just couldn't keep the consistency because I felt, oh no, I'm all right now. Do you know what I mean? But really, I was fucked for a long time. I
yeah,
was just like, I just weren't doing anything properly about it. And like I said, like had I got the help that I got back like 10 years ago, things could be a lot different. But I just think that's why I'm quite outspoken about it because as well, like I know a lot of people who have either like lost their life or took their own life through addiction or
yeah,
like stuff happening like in the madness or like when they're out and some stuff's happened. And so I just feel like if I just talk about and be spoken about how like because I know that there's a lot of people that like they don't talk about it, they keep it to themselves and they just get on with their life. Like, but I just feel like a lot of people, especially a lot of fighters that I talk to, like when I first started posting about it regularly, like people be messaging me, inboxing me, as well, like people you wouldn't even think. Like obviously, I'm not going to say names and stuff, but
yeah, yeah,
so like, and I feel like, well, I'm putting this out there, and people are contacting me, or people are ringing me, and they're asking like, can I come along? Can I come to this? Come to that? And then you feel like, well, it's like if I put out like a post or like something every now and again, and it helps one person, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, then I'll just keep doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and bloody hell, you're now working in outside of pub as well, and that must be
Yeah,
you've thrown yourself in at the deep end,
do you
yeah.
know what? It's not to judge because I used to be the same, but when
Yeah,
I see people out there not talking shit like week in, week out, doing the same thing that I used to do.
yeah,
Like, obviously, everyone's on their own journey, but like, I can look at it and just think, oh, that's not me anymore. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It
But
must be, yeah,
it's a nice, not a nice way of like seeing how far I've come. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it puts
Like,
it into perspective. Yeah, you could probably
yeah,
see yourself there 5, 10 years ago, and thinking now where how far you've come. And again, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
a testament to how hard you've worked to get there. So well done on that.
Thank
Um,
you.
and moving coming back to MMA, obviously you've been training, and I've noticed, especially this fight camp and probably the last few fight camps as well at GB Top Team, and also you teach. Is it Checkmate Essex as well with Spencer? Is it?
No, so Checkmate Essex is where I do my jiu-jitsu, and then Checkmate Five Stars is my thing. So that's my gym that I've started in my old box. Well, my
So
boxing gym.
is that at Harold? Is that the one at Harold Hill? Is it?
That's
So
in Howard
yeah,
Hill.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Right.
that's my one, but it's the same affiliation like Checkmate.
Okay,
So
right. So
I
so
train
you
with Spencer and the guys at Checkmate Essex, and then I teach at Checkmate Five Star,
okay, right,
and
okay.
then I train at GB
At
Top
GB
Team.
Top Team,
Yeah.
just to yeah. So you got lots of different different fields and different bodies and stuff. But how was the training been at GB Top Team? Given it, it's a big super gym in the UK. How good is it to get on the mats
No,
there?
I know it's great. It's great being there. There's so many like good bodies. Like we got like great sparring partners. You got Ash, you got Brad, like top coaches as well, and like it's like even like the welterweights. We got like Alex Lahore. You got like Nathan Jones. You got like who else? We got Spar Tao. Like Louis. There's just loads of bodies my weight. So like when it's sparring day. Like you got Alfie Davis as well, and
Yeah,
guys like that, and so also as well with the guy I'm fighting, he's the southpaw and he likes to open up every fight with a left head kick. So like I've got my teammates like mimicking his style and that. It's just like all the rounds, wrestling rounds, striking rounds, MMA rounds, grappling rounds. You're always going to get hard rounds, and
yeah.
iron sharpens iron. Do you know what I mean? So it's probably one of the best gyms, if not the best gym in the country to train at.
Yeah, and what sort of brought you to that gym? Because obviously, from where you live, it's a bit of a trek. But
No, honestly, it's like I get up at 6:30, sometimes 6:15, like because I faff about in the mornings.
right.
To leave at 7:30 to get there for 9:30 to start training at 10. Like,
Yeah,
so the days I go there, it's like 2 hours there, 2 hours back.
yeah,
But locally to train MMA like my level, there's
yeah,
not there's not really anything.
Yes, you've
Um,
got to sort of venture out a bit to get
yeah,
the
yeah,
bodies and stuff to train with. Yeah.
you
And
know,
how long have you been training at GB Top Team then?
3 years, I think.
Right.
But I
Okay.
think 3 years this summer. I went back. I did pop in there before, like, but then I come back in 2023, probably about June, July time. Because yeah, I was only training about 2 months before I fought the Lazy King. So it's like it is, is what it is, isn't it? But
Well, it was
it's
a
too much.
great, it was a golden opportunity, wasn't it? Because if you won, happy days,
Yeah, well, there's that as well. Like, not to talk bad on them, but I got a 2 fight contract for taking a fight short notice, and I was promised some stuff, and it didn't happen, and I'm still waiting for my second fight. But it's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that's been quite good to witness is through your social media, because for the longest time, a lot of people were thinking, Brad Wheeler, very dangerous in the ground, and you had so many submission wins and stuff. But it seems like you've fallen back in love with obviously boxing and with your hands as well. So what sort of drove that? And I know initially when you first started your career, boxing was probably your main skill set. But what's kind
Yeah.
of brought you full circle
So
and
no, so
back to the
I
box?
boxed since I was 13. And even when I was training MMA, I always boxed in the boxing gym, And then I did quite a bit of Thai for a while, and it's just and when so what I tore my ACL, right? So it's a knee injury. So when I come back to training at Checkmate Five Star, no, not Five Star, the Essex one in Raynham, next
Yeah,
door, you've got Mark Tibbs and the pro boxers there training.
yeah, right,
So I was there doing bits of jiu-jitsu or teaching classes, but I wasn't back grappling yet. So I was just doing a bit of bag work and this and that. And so I got talking to Mark and about doing a bit with them, and then there's Charlie Duffield there who I do my pads and my boxing with now. And so when I come back, I was training like with Charlie mainly, aspiring the pros under Mark and just getting back into my boxing, just getting my weight back down and just like getting back into boxing. And then for a little while, I was thinking, oh, do you know what? I might get my pro boxing license. I might have run a pro boxing, and then
yeah,
I had a couple of like unlicensed matches, and then I felt the age I was at, and that I was thinking, do you know what? I'm already kind of established on the MMA scene, a couple of good
yeah,
wins, and obviously I then had that PFL fight, which big massively. But yeah, so for when I come back, I was just predominantly just boxing for a long time
right,
while I was recovering from my surgery because I didn't want to risk re-tearing it or like doing any more damage to
yeah,
it. Do you know what I mean? So I was just purely boxing, and for a while it was just mainly upper body strikes. I weren't throwing body shots. I weren't like level changing. I weren't, but bit by bit, I was just getting better and better and better. And then like now, I just take boxing matches to stay active because like I said, other than training, working, and fighting, I don't really do a lot else. And see my girlfriend.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Other than that, like literally my whole life changed. Like where I changed that the other side of my life, my circle changed. You see like
yeah,
who your real friends are and who's just an
sure.
acquaintance for
For a night
when they
out,
needed
or
something
yeah, yeah,
for a night.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So, but yeah, no. So, and I just like as well, style wise, is like I just feel like having good hands in boxing, in MMA is beneficial. Especially with the smaller gloves.
yeah, absolutely. So have you
Yeah.
noticed a sort of marked improvement then in your striking since coming back to sort of training in MMA?
I just feel like my variety of shots and the feints, the head move, like because where I was just pure boxing, I was just like you started doing stuff pure boxing, doing more setups, more feints, more
Yeah,
volume, more like I'm throwing two or three setup shots to land the three and the fourth shot. Whereas MMA is quite get in there and trade. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Obviously at a higher level, there are quite tactical strikers and good fighters like that, but um, I feel like it gives me a little bit of an advantage, and I feel like I got quicker hands than most people in the MMA scene.
yeah. Excellent. Last couple of questions, Brad, because appreciate it. Kept you a
No,
while,
it's
mate.
fun.
So thanks for that. And just looking back at your career, what would you say to date has been your favorite win?
My favorite win. Oh, do you know what? I got two. I got that. No, I got a few actually. I don't know.
Is one John Maguire by any chance? Yeah.
You know what? What it was with that was the fight before I lost, right? And I was, and this is where getting to the point of before I got clean and everything. Yeah, and I was partying all camp, and I was just thinking, oh, if I took this fight seriously, I might have won, and this and that. So then the John Maguire camp, I was like the whole time I was clean. I did everything properly, and it showed in the performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so it was just like, and like on paper, like the UFC veteran, former British champion, like UK, like John Maguire, it was a big fight, and
Yeah.
yeah, like I got a good win over him. But then if you want like, as in like satisfaction wise, it'd go back to Ian Entwistle the rematch
Right. Yeah. That was a.
with the reverse triangle and the
Yeah.
grave dig.
Yeah. There's a. Yeah. God, he was a name, was it? We're throwing it back to the old school now. That's yeah.
2011. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. And what would you say if you was to compare MMA today to what it was like when you first started? What would you say is the main difference?
I would say that people are training harder and people are more um, well-rounded. I feel like back when I started, you'd go, "Oh, like I'm fighting this guy. He's a striker. Or like, he's a grappler." Like, you wasn't didn't really have guys that had like the full range of um skills. You know, you did it. Did
Yeah.
be normally sometimes like when you know the guy had like maybe like 10 plus fights, they was quite good on standing and on the ground. But generally, it's just there was either a striker or a grappler.
Yeah.
And I feel like now the sport's changed so much that everyone's well rounded. And like also back when I started, there was an amateur scene. I did have
Yeah.
two amateur fights, but they were just like exhibitions on some like kickboxing, boxing shows or something like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
was in a ring, and I just feel like the game nowadays, where the sports move forward, everyone's well rounded. Everyone's and there's more gyms about like back when I started. I think I started with Eddie Cohn in 2006 actually. So it's like 20 years.
Yeah, bloody hell, yeah. You're
Yeah,
making us
I've
both
been in the game a
both
long
both feel
time.
old now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
20 years. And that was where was that? We started in Bethnal Green and then it was in Tottenham. So because back then, because I was at the MMA clinic for a long time, that wasn't even it didn't even exist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So but now, where the sports got more popular, there's more gyms, there's more places to train, more people are well rounded. There's an amateur scene, you get like the IMFs and
yeah,
all that. So like, I just feel like it's because the sports got more popular. That, like, there's a lot more like demand for it. Like, and
yes.
people can get better training than back when we did. But even back then, I was doing a lot of traveling to London, traveling out like
Yeah, you never, never
always.
took it easy. Yeah, but and I guess you're probably noticing that more as well when you are training. The youngsters that are coming in now, are probably more focused on MMA overall. Whereas before, like you said, you'd either come in as a boxer or someone who done
Yeah,
judo or jiu-jitsu, and then kind of work the rest of it out after that. More people are coming into the sport sort of fully, straight into MMA, aren't they? More than anything.
yeah. Because now they're coming in, or you come into an MMA gym and I have like a striking class, grappling class, MMA class, and they're
Yeah,
doing all the classes, so they're getting everything.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
before, you might find a gym that did MMA and they might do jiu-jitsu or they might do striking mainly. So that it'd be like you'd have like a Thai gym that had MMA or like a jiu-jitsu gym that had MMA. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
For anyone tuning in to watch you fight on the 9th of May for the first ever time, if they've not seen you today, what can they expect from the crazy kid Brad Wheeler?
The crazy kid, old vintage performance, a quick finish.